were the apex predator of the world for millions of years. But what was Earth like before them? Today, we're gonna find out.
Millions of years ago, Earth looked very different.
That's Pangea.
All the continents were fused into one.
That's called Pangea.
Teeming with life, both beautiful and terrifying.
It is kind of weird to know that our Earth is like constantly moving around. I don't understand how it works. I know it's like tectonic plates and stuff, but like, why does that stuff move? Why does the Earth move? I don't know.
When you think of prehistoric times, you might picture a T-Rex rampaging through the jungle with its razor-sharp teeth.
Apparently they had feathers, I heard.
Before the dinosaurs, there were other giant creatures ruling the Earth.
No! Okay, when I clicked on this video, I didn't really know what to expect. Giant millipede, centipede, willipede, pee-pee-peed. That is not what I signed up for. Hold on. I don't know if I can watch this. This stuff really skeeves me out. If you're telling me there were like giant insects, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, welcome to the Permian period. This epic started 300 million years ago.
Okay, there's like hippos?
Back then, our planet had one supercontinent, Pangea.
That's what I was saying.
Surrounded by a world ocean called Panthalassa. The Permian period began at the end of an ice age when temperatures were much cooler than today. Then, during early Permian days, Earth warmed to a lush environment with a diversity of plants and a rapid evolution of insect and animal life. Only, as you probably know, everything is ever-changing on our blue marble.
And there's the answer. They killed every single thing in the entire world.
Years, Earth kept growing hotter and drier. Eventually, the most deadly event in the history of our planet wiped out nearly everything that ever lived here. Scientists call this event the Great Dying, and it was the most catastrophic mass extinction event the Earth has ever seen.
Wait, but I thought that was when the asteroid hit the Earth and then all of the dinosaurs died. But no, apparently there was some big giant other cataclysmic death apocalypse. What the heck?
And the Earth has seen 5 of them. But before
maybe it was
we
a
get
different
to
asteroid?
all this doom and gloom, let me take you on an epic journey back in time.
Whoa.
Here in the Permian period, some of the most incredible species that roamed our young planet are about to emerge.
I wonder how accurate this stuff is, because it's literally million, jillion, billion, willion years old. So like, how can we actually get a definitive depiction of what actually happened there, you know? No one really knows exactly what they look like. I guess my point is, like, if the animals that we're about to look into are older than dinosaurs, I feel like we should be suspicious. Almost 300 million years ago. That is almost as old as Adam's mom.
If you could time travel nearly 300 million years into the past, you'd land smack dab in the middle of the supercontinent Pangea. Earth's smaller continents would have just finished colliding with each other to form this enormous landmass, taking up 1/3 of the planet's surface. There was likely less oxygen in the air than there is now, but you still might be able to breathe. Oh, and bring a jacket, because it would likely be chilly, with some areas averaging no more than a brisk 4 degrees Celsius.
What? Dude, that sounds awful. I honestly feel bad for pretty much any animal. They don't get Wi-Fi, they don't get video games, they don't get TV, they don't get nothing. Except for being in the wilderness and potentially dying by being eaten by predators every day. So not only are these animals threatened by predators every day, but they're also freezing cold.
Don't worry, things will soon start heating up. By the end of the early Permian, the Ice Age was on its way out, and Pangea was becoming a lush world. Plants and animals started to thrive.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Okay. Oh, dude, we just fast forwarded 9 million years. 9 million. Now, I will say the planet is in an everlasting cycle of getting warm, and then getting cold, and then getting warm, and then getting cold.
This was a volcanic world. Violent eruptions changed the climate, shaped the landscape, and paved the way for evolution.
Earth was going through a phase at this point.
When giant swamp forests began drying out, plant life had to adapt. And so, 290 million years ago, Earth saw the very first seed-bearing plants
Whoa.
called gymnosperms. These plants carried seeds on their cones, and they spread across the supercontinent like wildfire. The ancient evergreen forest of the early Permian was hiding something familiar. Just like today, you could find cicadas and beetles piercing and sucking on the plants, and the cutest of them all? Cockroaches.
Oh!
Only these weren't the cockroaches you know today. These prehistoric vermin were gigantic,
Bro.
the size of birds. But
What are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? What am I doing? Why am I watching this video? I don't want to watch this video. You know what, dude? I'm glad that the dinosaurs came out and stomped their foot on all this stuff, because this is disgusting. This is when Earth didn't really know who or what it was into, what it liked, what it didn't, what it disliked. I mean, it had a weird phase of like gross, ooby gooby, creepy crawlers running all over it, volcanic stuff, freezing stuff. And then eventually it said, you know what, I'm actually gonna be cool a little bit, and we're gonna make dinosaurs.
despite their size, cockroaches never ruled prehistoric land, and that's good news, am I right? No. Something much more fascinating was roaming Pangaea. The now extinct ancestor of primitive mammals, Dimetrodon. This animal was as fascinating as it was terrifying. Encountering a Dimetrodon would be quite a sight to behold.
Bro, that is just
This
a dinosaur.
ancient lizard grew to 5 meters long and weighed 225 kilograms.
Oh
It
my
had a large
god!
sail running down its spine. Scientists think this sail helped the reptile regulate its body temperature, soaking up warmth during the daytime and dissipating excess heat during the cooler nights. It would walk toward you like a crocodile and act like a total menace. Dimetrodon was an apex predator of its time.
Okay,
Watch
it
out
does
for
run
a
pretty
mix
silly
of
though.
sharp and flat teeth that would slice you open and grind
That's how it
you up.
runs. Bro, that is insane. Is that the first ever dinosaur? They said it was a lizard.
In the
That's
Middle
pretty much a
Permian
dinosaur
period,
though.
Other mammal-like reptiles took over the planet. Therapsids.
Okay, that looks cool.
They
That looks like a
had
saber-toothed
strong
tiger,
jaws
but a dinosaur.
with sharp teeth and a somewhat upright stance thanks to their legs being situated underneath their bodies. Therapsid reptiles varied from the 5-meter-long, likely omnivorous Deuterosaurus to the 5 times
Deuterosaurus? Who is naming these? I mean, I know that there's like some people still naming birds today. There's like the booby, the titty or something like that. There's like some weird bird names out there. Who named it Deuterosaurus? And how do I get in contact with him? Because that guy's probably hilarious.
smaller, meat-eating Lycanops. You could meet plenty more therapsids if you stuck around for another 20 million years. During the Middle Permian period, Earth kept getting hotter. The average global temperature on Pangaea grew to about 25 degrees Celsius. And volcanoes were spitting greenhouse gases out into the atmosphere.
Wait, 25 is not
Due
bad,
to
right?
the changing
Celsius? That's
climate,
okay.
Sea levels were shifting, but marine life found ways to thrive. If
Oh, yeah.
you were
Wait,
to
what's
take
going
a
on in the
dip
water?
in the prehistoric superocean, you'd be swimming alongside ancient sharks and bony primitive fish.
I just saw a squid snail, and then I saw a shark with a saw blade as its teeth. How does that even work? How does that operate? The world is one giant freak show. That's all it is, honestly. I feel like the further back you go, the weirder things get. My point is, it doesn't get much better. The more you look in the ocean, the grosser things get. And whatever I'm seeing right now, I'm not enjoying.
Many more complex marine species
Oh my God, like,
came
what
and
is
went
that?
as the environment kept changing.
Ew! They should call that the doo-doo fish.
In the late
260 million
Permian
years
period,
ago.
you could have a friendly encounter with another reptile,
Aw,
Lystrosaurus.
that one's kind of cute. Looks like a
These
baby
looked like a
triceratops.
cross between a lizard and a pig, but unlike all the scary prehistoric monsters out there, Lystrosaurus was a herbivore.
It looks
was
like a baby
just
triceratops.
1 meter long and had powerful front legs for burrowing. Soon, another cute mammal-like lizard evolved,
Whoa.
the cynodont.
Okay, this is, I'm not even kidding, the first animal that actually looks like an animal that could live today, at least. Everything else has been like, what am I looking at?
The cynodont looked like a giant rodent. It was
The cynodonk? The cynodonk? Bro, I gotta get in contact with the name guy of this. This is amazing.
about 1 meter long, had whiskers, and fed on small animals and insects.
He's like a little ferret.
Now, during this time, something bad was brewing in the air. A large amount of volcanic activity was displacing oxygen from the atmosphere. Scientists think there was as little as 10% oxygen in the air. Compare that to 21% today.
Ooh, that's actually
You'd
a big
have a
deal.
hard time breathing in that environment.
Yeah, that is a big deal. Apparently, the reason why dinosaurs were so massive is because of how much oxygen was in the air. Because not only did that allow for them to breathe a lot more oxygen, but it allowed for the plants to get way bigger. And when the plants were way bigger, that means that there was a lot more food. So there was a lot more food, a lot more air, a lot more water, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of hoopla, a lot of whoopla. What I'm trying to say is that's why the dinosaurs got so big, is because of the oxygen.
And the temperature kept rising and rising. With an average temperature of about 28 degrees Celsius, this lush prehistoric world was turning into an oven.
It's getting pretty hot now. They say cow farts are the reason why the Earth's heating up today. I would imagine dinosaur farts probably a little bit worse than cow farts. That's probably why the Earth is heating up so quickly back then.
Must come to an end, and sadly, this period came to a particularly brutal one.
Oh my God, what even is that?
About 252 million years ago, about 90% of all plant and animal life was wiped out. This tragic moment is called the Great Dying, and it was Earth's most devastating mass extinction event.
Volcanoes? Is that what it was?
Still debate what caused this catastrophic extinction. Most theories suggest it was the result of explosive volcanic activity.
That is so unbelievable to me.
As huge volcanic eruptions swept the continent, massive amounts of ash were unleashed into the atmosphere.
How big were those volcanoes, though? Because I swear today, like, volcanoes erupt, and it's not that big a deal. Generally, I've seen so many videos of volcanoes erupting, and like, it's cool, and, you know, don't get too close, but like, they're filming like, I don't know, half a mile away, if that, and everyone's always fine. So like, how big are these volcanoes to where they're blowing up the entire world? And do they still exist? If so, how do we stop that from happening again?
So much ash that it blocked out most, if not all, of the incoming sunlight. And with no sunlight, global temperatures dropped suddenly.
Well, there you go.
Plants couldn't perform their photosynthetic processes.
Okay, that's not good.
Died off. And
at least it's chillier, though. That's good.
The very basis of their food chain, animals soon followed. Things got worse before they got better. Because of all the carbon dioxide emitted during the volcanic eruptions, global temperatures rose again. And not just to where they were, but higher.
Whoa.
Much higher.
Whoa!
And this caused the superocean to lose most of its oxygen. And unable to breathe, a majority of the Permian sea animals perished.
Wait, why would the ocean lose oxygen though? Oh, you know what? Actually, I got it. Coral reefs probably all died because there's no more sunlight. Coral reefs made a lot of oxygen. Big brain. And unfortunately, that's kind of just a cycle of life. Eventually, we're gonna get back to that period. So if you want, you can contemplate about it and get depressed and think about it all night and not sleep. Or you can cheer up your mood by clicking on this video right here. I'm sure it'll be fun and awesome and epic.